All right, we're in the building. Episode 7 of the Sam I Am Viral podcast. Very happy to be with you guys this morning. Tuesday morning, if you guys are listening, which you probably are listening right now, it is Thursday morning. So salute, good morning, good afternoon, whatever you may be listening to this show. I definitely appreciate you. I got a special guest on in the building this morning. It's my motherfucking brother, D Bottz. Is it 6-time or 7-time Grammy nominated producer right now? 6 or 7? 6.
It's 6.
All right, let me give you a little love real quick. 6-time Grammy nominated award producer, multi-platinum producer, established and acclaimed author, and most importantly, he is a father and a grandfather. I got my brother D Bottz on. What's going on with your family? How you feeling?
What to do, Sam? I am. This man, look, living and loving.
Yes, sir. Definitely appreciate you coming on, man. Definitely want to hear everything you got to say for this next 30, 40 minutes, hour, whatever, however long we do this thing, man. So this podcast is centered around the journey, embracing the journey. Whatever that journey looks like in your life, it's embracing that shit, because we all have roads, tough roads that we go through. We all have trials and tribulations, and it's not about the trial and tribulation. It's how you respond and how you bounce back from them trials and tribulations. So this podcast is centered around that, and I think D Bottz is better guess as any to have on here and talk about his story, man, because for the very small parts that I know about his story, it's absolutely incredible. The last few years getting to know you, brother, and becoming a brother, man. I definitely appreciate you, man. So thank you for coming to share your story, and let's get rocking. So I want to start with, you know what is crazy? I was watching the last few weeks. I've been watching you show off your son Dylan. Was out there playing college ball, was in the playoffs, was doing their thing. It was a great season for them, and salute to them, and shout out to them, and shout out to your son. And I'm sitting there because my son is 16 right now, and I'm like, damn, in a year and a half, he won't be in my house no more. Like shit. And you know what I mean? As a man, you want to build your kids, you want to make sure they straight. So when they leave the nest, they, you know what I mean, they're straight. But at the same time, I'm a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I'm like, damn, that's my son. He growing up. He damn near taller than me, but that's still my baby when I look at him. So how did you do that, bro? Man to man. Like, how was it as your kids started growing up and leaving the nest? How did you deal with that?
Well, I mean, Jalen was the first one who left. And I mean, even though he left to go to college, he went to college in Houston. So he like 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was different with Dylan because Dylan, his college is about 2.5 hours away. My daughter, Leah, well, both my daughters, it started with my daughters because Dana went to the Army and they shipped her to West Virginia, and then Leah went to San Marcos here, which is about 3 hours from Houston. She went to, I forgot what school that is down there, UTS, whatever that is. But so it started with them. You kind of just got to trust, a lot of trust, man. You got to kind of trust the things you've instilled in them and prepared them for life, that, when they face certain situations and you're not there, because you're not always going to be there.
Yeah.
That, man, they adhere to some of the advice and some of the upbringing you've given them. And, with all 4 of my kids going off, we've had no problems. You know what I mean? Dylan drive. You know what I'm saying? Like, he driving home today. They season over.
Yeah.
So shout out to University of Mary Hardin-Baylor. Great season. Dylan did his thing, and so season's done. So he's on his way. Dad, I'm on my way home, and he want to hang out with Dad. You know what I mean? Because he's a daddy's boy. He's a daddy's boy. So you just gotta trust that some of the stuff some of the jewels you gave him bringing up, that it's a hard. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It's hard because it's like you don't have. He's far. So if something did go down, I can't just get him. I gotta drive for 2.5 hours. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
But man, he's made us so proud because him and all my kids, they made us so proud because they did listen to some of the stuff growing up. And that's one of the things, as you've been a kid before, you don't listen to your parents. You don't
Hell
listen to no. Mama tell me come in at 10, I'm in at 12.
Right.
I'll take the punishment.
Right.
Just a hard head. But my kids, man, they have especially him. He had challenges going out there by himself. He by himself. We ain't know nobody in Belton. Belton is a college town. So there's nobody he knew. None of his teammates went. And so he was out there on the island, and he made the best of it. I can say publicly he won't be there next year. But yeah, you just gotta trust, man. And he still communicated with me, like, hey, Dad, there's a party 45 minutes away, da-da-da-da-da. I'd be like, you got practice in the morning, da-da-da, yeah. But do you think you need to? You know what I'm saying? They still have that kid in them, even though they're put in a grown up situation, living on their own. He's still a kid,
right?
And so we always have an open line of communication, and so he did good, man. I was tripping them first couple of weeks, just like.
Yeah.
But you know, hitting them every day. Then after that, it was maybe every other day. Then after that, it was maybe, you know, every 2-3 days, just to, okay, you good, you straight.
I'm glad you said that, man. That's good to hear, because like I still got some time. My son is a junior, but the shit is like it's on the forefront of my brain. I'm starting to teach him really how to drive. Like I had him behind the wheel the last few years, but I'm really getting him out there, and he's about to get his license in a couple months, and that transition is starting to happen. And bro, he don't listen to shit at home. I've been training this dude since he was fucking 4 or 5 years old. And I'm like, bro, you don't listen to a goddamn thing I done taught you. I still got to tell you to take out the trash. I still got to tell you not to bring cups in your fucking room. I still got to tell you about your grades. I know school is bullshit, but I tell you to lock. You don't listen to shit. But I'm hoping that it fucking clicks. Okay,
that's
good.
how they do, bro. That's how they do. Even when he comes home, they're still that. You know what I'm saying? It's still, I don't think, I told this, me and Ali talked about, I say, bro, you until the day you pass away, you're going to parent for the rest of your life. Yeah. I don't care if your kid's 20, with 3 kids that's grown up, 4 kids. Actually, Dylan be 20 next year. So they grown. They still, I had to tell my daughter the other day, man, look, when you throw your stuff away, if you miss the trash, pick it. You know, she's 26. This is shit I've been telling you for 20 years, since you were 6 years old, and could understand. Hey, make sure when you throw stuff away, it goes in the trash, not on the floor.
Word.
So you're going to always parent them. So
I'm going to show this to my wife, because that's his stepmama, but she been around him since he was 4 years old. So that's his mama. And she be looking at me like, babe, I don't know this mother. I'm like, trust me. Look, trust me. Just trust it. We're going to let him go. He's going to be all right. But I'll be
you got to trust. You got to trust. But you, like you say, you still got some time to instill some of them core values.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you know, what we not going to do. And I've had that conversation with all my kids. Like, what we not going to do is X, Y, and Z. What you're not going to do when you go out there is X, Y, and Z. And you know, you got to put them boundaries, because, you know, they don't see what we see. You know what I mean? They just don't. And we didn't as kids.
Nope.
You know, we didn't see what our parents and, you know, everybody in our village that was trying to see. Yeah. And, you know, so we try to protect them and keep them out of harm's way. And so you just got to trust, man. It's hard, but you got to trust.
Hard as hell, especially some of them near-death experiences I had growing up and shit my parents don't know. I'm like, damn, boy, you better not do that shit to me, but he probably will.
Bruh, I'm telling you. Look, my mom, man, me and my sisters laugh. My mom, she was a traveling nurse. Her job, she worked at the post office. And so she would travel a lot. And when she was gone, I threw like 3 parties. She still to this day don't know.
Don't know, right?
Man, we had one. The neighbors called the police because people was fighting in the yard. My mom still don't know.
Damn.
And I told her, I was like, look, we taking that to the grave. Because if I tell her now, I might get slapped 30
might
years
still get
later.
in trouble. Ain't that fucking crazy?
So yeah, I get it. I get it, man. I get it.
Oh man. Damn, yeah, I appreciate that. So let's talk about how you got into music initially. Now, I'm assuming you started in church. A lot of Black people started in church. You know what I'm saying? So when did it talk about that starting in church, and then when you kind of started transitioning out of church music to quote unquote secular music? When did all that start happening?
Man, I was born into music. When I was, my father played bass. He's a famous quartet singer. My grandfather played guitar. Both my grandmothers play piano and organ. And so when I was 4 years old, I started playing the drums. And the very first gig I had, I was 6 years old, and my dad had a quartet group, and the drummer had a car wreck, so he couldn't make the concert. And, you know, the band was panicking, and they was all like, well, what we gonna do? We don't got no drum. And one of them went up to my dad like, he be at every rehearsal. He can play every song. Put your song. I was 6 years old, bro, playing my first gig. And so I played drums up until about 18. Like my senior year in high school, I started liking the piano. And that's when I kind of started, you know, transitioning. I didn't even know what a producer was. I knew about music, but I didn't know, you know, what I know now. I was a football player.
Me too.
And I didn't have dreams of going to the NFL, but you know, I had dreams of finishing my college career playing ball. And when I got hurt on my shoulder and had to have surgery, I quit. I was like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
And so I had to rely I had a couple of years, had to rely on some musical talent and some working in factories until I found my niche and what I was doing. So yeah, I was born into it, played drums at the church. And the way I started playing piano was we was at church one night and there was no keyboard player. And the pastor looked at me and he said, hey, I need you to go play keys. And I'm like, huh? I don't play no keys. And he's like, yeah, you do tonight. And then from that night on, I started playing keys and, you know, grew into piano and grew into organ and all those different, you know, key type elements. And so still playing at church. You know what I mean? I believe, you know, I'm grateful for this gift that I've been blessed with. And I always say I can't use it, like you say, for just secular and not give it back to the gift giver. And so every Sunday you can find me and my son Jalen playing at the church. Shout out Mount Olive. We got a Christmas concert this Sunday. You know what I'm saying? It just helps keeps me grounded and keeps me, you know, in remembrance. This is where you started. This is where your gift came from. Never abandon that. You know, and a lot of people abandon it. You know, that's their choice, but I can't do it.
Word up. Now, speaking on that's where you started. That was where you were established. That's where it began. When did it click to you that you wanted to pursue music full time? And when was that moment where you realized what a producer was and that's something that you wanted to do?
I got hired on the Guitar Center in 1999. Brad Johnson was my general manager. And I always mention his name because I'm forever grateful for him taking a chance on hiring me. Because at the time I was a drummer transitioning to a keyboard player. I didn't really know keys yet, but he took a chance on me. And, you know, I put that in the application of Guitar Center. I just wanted to beat on some shit and shit, probably get some discounts on stuff. I didn't know nothing. I had no clue what that would do in those 3.5 years I worked there and changed my career. Because once I got there, they taught me all the keyboards. They taught me software. They taught me live sound. They taught me DJ. They taught me PA. They taught me all this stuff. And that's where I learned about, oh, that's what a producer is. Oh, that's what an engineer is. Oh, that's what live sound is. That's all. I learned it. I was one of the people who got hired and really took heed to everything I learned there. And, you know, that's the story behind my very first track. My very first track, I was working at Guitar Center in 2000, and I was programming the keyboard. This is key word. I was programming. This is what I was taught in my classes. I was programming this keyboard called the Triton. Yep. And then comes Scarface from the Ghetto Boys. And Scarface comes up to me, and he's like, how much you want for that track? I was like, for that what? Right. Like, this is how oblivious I am. And me and Face laugh at this story because he be dying. And I'm like, for what? Like, I'm just programming this stuff I've learned about this keyboard. He's like, yeah, but that track, I need that track. He's like, I got 500 for you right now. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to sell you this track.
Hell yeah.
And the crazy thing is, man, I didn't know nothing about Pro Tools. I didn't know nothing. I was very, very green. And so I was like, I don't even have a keyboard to give to you. And so Guitar Center was so generous at that time. They would let you, if you worked there, they would let you take the gear for 48 hours.
Oh,
like you could say, hey, I want to take this keyboard home and learn it. So I took the keyboard to Faith's house. I took it to his house. And neither one of us knew what the hell we was doing. Bro.
How you take the track off this motherfucker?
It was like a 9-track thing that normally would take like 7 minutes. Bro, I was at Faith's house for 4 hours until we could figure it out. But he was so cool. This is why we cool to this day, man. This was kind of my intro into the industry. And he wasn't an asshole. He was like, bro, I don't know. You don't know. He's like, do you drink Hennessy? I said, yeah. He went and got some Hennessy. We sitting up there sipping and trying to figure it out. And like I say, 4 hours later, we put the track in, and he was like, he started, you know how to record? I'm like, nope. He's like, you're gonna learn. Damn. So we worked on the song. And so that was my intro into the industry right there. I know I kind of probably jumped some questions, but that all ties together how I got started. And that was my very first track. I didn't get it placed. So that was my lesson in the music industry. I came leaving Face House. Oh, I'm gonna be on Scarface record. I did it. Man, the album came out and I was not on that bitch. And I'm like, damn. I got paid though.
Right.
I got paid. So I wasn't tripping.
I didn't realize our stories were so similar. You know, it's crazy. I started in Guitar Center too, in the pro audio department. And the reason why I was in there is because I knew how to sing, and that's fucking it. I knew nothing about programs. I had people, yo, can you grab me those XLR cables? I'm like, no, what? Fuck are they at? Like, no, I don't know shit. I'm looking at, I'm playing with the DJ shit. I'm playing with the Triton because I had that. My music teacher had one of those. So I knew what a Triton was. I didn't know what to do with it, but I knew what it was. But it was just that, it was just being around music and being around musicians and being around the environment that I realized I needed to be around, and learning that, whether I realize it enough, subconsciously helped me do the shit that I'm doing right now, because it, you know what I mean? You need cables. You need a lot more than just talent and a microphone. So it was definitely a blessing in disguise. So after that face situation, right? You get $500 for this beat. It's dope. Is that when you realize, all right, this is what I want to do full time? And if that is what you realize, what was the next steps after that?
Well, Face, the stuff with Face opened up kind of my first doors, because he was still with Rap-A-Lot at the time.
Yeah.
And I was working at this place with Face. He told me to come to this place with my homeboy Big Time, called the Hippie House. That was Rap-A-Lot's studio. It's called the Hippie House. And so when I got to the Hippie House, like, all of them was in there with producers, but they couldn't play. Nobody could play like Bottz. You had some dudes who can kind of put a few things, but I get on that bitch and I could, and it blew them all away. And so that's how I did my first production deal with Rap-A-Lot in 2002. And that's when I left Guitar Center.
Hell yeah. That Rap-A-Lot of Guitar Center.
Man, look, and I made money at Guitar Center because I was one of the top sellers. I used to bone every day. If you work there, you know what that means.
Yep.
I used to have $1,000 in gross profit damn near every day. And so I was good there. I was making a good living, but shit, a five-figure check at one time was like, I'm gone.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, signed my first deal with Rap-A-Lot. I started working with Zero. I got to work with UTP, the guys that did Know Your Clap with Juvenile, the Ghetto Twins. Who else I worked with? Big Mike. That was just, I got that opened up that door to Face was like, man, y'all need to hear Bottz. I go start. All I did was play, and they was blown away, and so shit, they signed me. Shout out to Big Chief and Red and Lil James Prince and Rhonda Prince. That was the fam, bro. I was there.
I had a friend, a brother of mine, brother to this day, and probably one of the most intelligent musical minds, most talented singers and musicians I've ever came across. And his talent took him to Amsterdam, Germany, Atlanta, Houston. He was going all over the place from a small town in Jersey, and it was just amazing to watch him do it. But he would go to studio, right, and get these motherfuckers his best work. If he was in the booth with a Marion, he was outshining the Marion. He was singing and doing all this stuff, not knowing that the engineer was hitting record and recording it the whole time. He would do that with all these different artists, and then what he realized was they was taking his shit, wasn't paying him, wasn't giving him any credit, and then they was using his talents and creating their artists from it. And that was like the nasty introduction to the game for me, watching him go through that. What was your introduction to the game going, yo, this ain't all about music. This is a business, a serious business.
I think it was my very first meeting at Rap-A-Lot. And when I say meeting, it was about 30 to 40 people at the compound. They had a compound over there for 290. And here I am, very green. I'm still super green. You know what I mean? I don't know a lot about the business, but I got to sit under Jay, and I got to sit next to Chief and Red and watch these guys maneuver, and just the business side. They the business side that Rap-A-Lot had at that time, early 2000s. They were still fresh off of Mind playing tricks on me, so they still had their little buzz,
Yeah.
And so just sitting there, I was like, damn, this is like real. I'm sitting there like, I just got paid $1,500 for a track for Zero. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
This is real. And then they was like, you're publishing. You need to get a publishing. So I signed. I'd been with ASCAP since 2002. Mm-hmm. I've been with them. I got all that right. That's when I started learning the business, the foundation, and I credit Rap-A-Lot all the time for my foundation that I have in this game, and that's why I do business the way I do. Because Prince would always be like, "Man, look, do good business." A lot of people have a lot of things to say about him. Like, man, the man's a businessman.
Yeah.
And you survive this long in the industry doing business good.
Yeah.
And so, I learned that those meetings used to be intense.
Yeah.
I've seen people get choked. I've seen people get cussed. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, behind music? Yeah, behind music. So I was like, yeah, this is real. Like, this is real, Bottz. You got to take this shit serious. This ain't, and I'm a big joking motherfucker. So
Yeah.
This is something you don't joke about. And so my intro into the game really set my foundation for how I maneuver. And we used to go out of town, and I was part of the street team. We would have boxes of CDs and be selling CDs. You know, I learned, I did all the dues. You know, they say you got to pay your dues. And so when people see me now, I'm like, shit, y'all don't know when I was at Texas Relays passing these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, in the heat and sweating and tired and 6 people sleeping in a hotel room. I'm on the floor, somebody on the couch, you know, making do. And so that intro there, and then even when I signed my next deal with Swisher House was another one that started helping me to see the business side. You know, my testimony is I've never had a bad deal. I've never had a bad deal. I never had a deal where I had to go look for my money, or I had to cut somebody out, or I had to threaten to kill some. I ain't had to do none of that. So those two being my entrance into the game was a blessing, because they were already solid. They were already set up. I didn't have to, learn on the fly. There were people already in place there that taught, hey, Bottz, this how you do this. When I did my first production deal, Chief at Rap-A-Lot, hey, Bottz, this is how you do this. You make sure as a producer you get whoop-de-whoop-whoop. You never sign this. You know, I learned all that shit. And so that Rap-A-Lot taught me a lot, man. I credit a lot of my shit to them.
It's very fortunate, because there's not many people that can come out here and say they never got fucked in a deal before. I know I can't. I got out of deal in 2020 from 2016. Bro, I was in a deal, and I'm gonna call them all out. Rock Boy Records, a dude named DR Period. He was a producer out of New York, did a lot for MOP and Dipset and all them motherfuckers out there in Brooklyn. And I was signed to him. He came out to Jersey with an R&B group. And I tell you, in 5 years, we distributed 3 songs. 3. Damn. In 5 years. He basically, I think he held us just to have our social security number so that he can write us off on his taxes. We did absolutely fucking nothing. And I'm like, I'm never signing a deal ever again. Like, that was like, I was a dad. Like, I was in my 30s. I'm like, you know what? This shit is over. And it kind of turned me off from the music industry going through that. But it was like, it also was like a hard reminder, like, nah, dog, be careful and know what you fucking signing. You signed that deal out of a rush thinking that this was going to be it. You heard the name, you seen it, and said, fuck it, I can make it happen. And that ain't always the case. So that's game right there, man, that you were able to get through that, not have to deal with the bullshit. Man,
I'm telling you, it was a blessing, because
for sure
I done seen people. Whew,
yeah.
The stories I could tell of people and their deals. And, that's why, I know we'll get to that. That's why I am who I am and what I do today for these independents, because man, they will know Vaseline you in a hurry.
They in a hurry and look you dead in the face while they doing it. And look you dead in the face, have you straight disrespected. Like, you just gonna raw dog me and look me in my eye while you do it. Yep. For him. You gonna take
some
it
of them
too.
won't even look you in the eyes. you gonna beat me from the back, and you ain't gonna rub me or nothing.
You gonna acknowledge me?
Raw dog. Yeah, it's a crazy game, man. And it's still the same. You still got these rats and crooks and snakes and shit out here. They're more exposed now. But I can't fuck with no niggas like that.
That's a fact. So in the industry and in this game, there's always highs and there's lows. There's ups and there's downs. There's peaks and there's valleys, ebbs and flows, right? So how were you able to deal with your ebbs and flows? Because obviously none of it always lasts forever. There's always these times where you kind of got it. It's a slow point. You got to transition. How were those moments for you? And how were you able to keep your glass always half full as opposed to half empty?
Man, I remember after I signed my deal with Universal, and I just thought I had arrived. And so I was dumb. Like, I already had a house, I had a car, but me being a young black man and from the hood, and I get a 6-figure check.
Yeah.
I lost my mind. Like, I did some stupid stuff. Booked me and my homeboys flights to Atlanta. We at Lenox Mall. I'm giving them $2,000 cash each. Just stupid stuff. And so I got to a point where I went from a 6-bedroom house. I had to move my family to a 3-bedroom apartment because I was just dumb. So that was one of the lows, and I was like, damn, I gotta get out of here. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get back. And fortunately, we were on there for like a year and a half, and then I was smarter this time, and we got back into a house and all that kind of stuff. But man, I have a positive outlook on life, period. I always have. And so every day I wake up, I'm just thinking like my mind, people don't understand, my mind starts going as soon as I open my eyes.
Me too. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Even while I'm at the gym, I'm working out, I'm thinking of, okay, how can I make this pop? What I need to do this? I'm always, so I had a positive mindset through all of that. And your circle matters to it. I don't surround myself with negative people. I don't surround myself with people who have the try and can't mentality. I don't. So even in then, people was like, man, you're gonna bounce back. My boy JoJo was like, man, do you need anything? Da, da, da. And so with that low, I just had to keep a positive mentality. Still working, still doing beats, still recording, still doing what I'm supposed to do. And it don't last. Some storms come, but they don't last. So I was able to bounce back and shit. I done kind of hit a streak that was probably the low, and I ain't had no more lows because I just learned, the lessons. You have to learn these lessons in this game that it teaches you in order to, achieve and avoid them same mistakes down the line. So just having a positive mentality, man, and continually just growing in my craft. I do some, you can tell when I'm going through something, all my beats sound sad.
What the fuck Bottz
all
going
of them
through?
dark. All of them dark as hell. And then my own brand be like, what Bottz, what you dealing with? All your shit dark. I'm like, oh, it is, huh? I don't even see it because I'm in it. But just still working and just, escaping in the music. There's an escape in the music, man. So escaping in that keeps you level-headed.
Right. Did you always have a positive mindset, or was that something you had to build and establish?
I've always had it. I had to perfect it, but I've always had it. And I learned this when I was in I got my first marriage. I took a spiritual gifts test. I had never taken one in my life.
Never
and
heard
they
that.
say you have to take it twice. So I took it twice, and the guy that administered to it, he just pulled me to the side. He's like, yo, I've never seen anybody grade as high in faith as you do. He's like, most people, their faith is kind of just wishy-washy. They grade high in action or prayer. And he's like, you have graded the highest in faith. Meaning I just always believe shit gonna work out.
Yeah.
No matter how, when, where, the shit's always gonna work out. So I've always had it. It's more so on scene now because we have like social media. And so it rubs off on people. People see, there's a quote I got this weekend. I've been waiting to post it for the right time by Nick Saban. And it says, high achievers don't like mid-level achievers. And mid-level achievers don't like high achievers. I'm a high achiever.
Yeah.
I get that. And so it's a mindset. Like, I believe I'm going to win. I believe great things are going to happen. I believe shit just going to work out. And I've had that all my life. I'm the one that people come to, hey, man, I just need you to encourage me. And, I have to say, hey, look, shit going to work out. I can't do it for you. But it's a mindset. It's a winning mindset. The opening line of my book says, change your mindset, change your life.
Yeah.
And if you get that mind, everything we deal with in life starts with our mind. Everything.
For sure. Like you are, and I see it. I see it firsthand. You are that person that people kind of gravitate to, and the energy is just there. You have that energy just brings people in. And if somebody's down, they'll go to Bottz to bring them up. Who does Bottz go to bring himself up? Do you need somebody to talk to? Do you need that pick me up, or is it just that mindset kind of just continues to keep you going?
Ali calls me a unicorn. He's like, you're the only person I know that's self-contained. And, it's good to have people who, pour into you. But if I don't have that person to pour into me, I pour into myself.
Yeah.
Every day I look in the mirror before I go to the gym, like, you the dopest motherfucker alive. I say this to myself every morning, even on Sundays. I know I ain't supposed to cuss on Sunday. The Lord know my heart. I look at myself in the mirror and say, you the dopest motherfucker alive. Let's go have a great day. And that's what I just, I encourage myself. But, I mean, I have people in my life, man, and I was telling somebody that, like, I don't really have a life that I need, like, I have to always tell people to pray for me. We got some of these friends and family who always need prayer. Like, what you dealing with this week? God damn, we just prayed for you 2 weeks. I don't have that. I told him, I said, man, my family lives pretty long. My kids are good. shit is happening for my career. Like, I don't have a calamity or a disaster where, oh man, I need y'all to pray for me. And so I'm blessed. I'm a blessed man. I live a great life, and I have lived a great life. So I don't really have to have a pick me up. And when I do, I go to myself. Man, I done read my book and help myself sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I quoted something in there that says sometimes you have to think yourself happy.
Yeah.
You literally have to think yourself happy. You can be down, and I don't really have down moments. I've had death and I've had situations and circumstances, but my mindset won't allow them to just penetrate me to where I'm crying, I'm down, I'm weak, and I'm out of feeble. First of all, we men.
Yeah.
And men need to be, it's cool to have your emotions, but if you all estrogen dot, what the women gonna do? How you gonna lead your kids?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How you gonna lead your gal? Women love strong men, and it ain't physically, it's mentally. Like, nigga, can you lead me? Can you take the family where we need to, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm self-contained, but people like you, even when we get on Clubhouse, or even, that's one thing I love about the event. We ain't even talked about that yet, but it kind of segues, is you never know what people are dealing with, but you get to draw from all this energy. And it's a boost. Like it's like you draw from them and you hug them and you high five them, and if you were down when you meet somebody or get at the cookout or wherever we meet, you don't kind of perked up, because energy is transferable. That's why I don't hang around people who ain't got good energy.
That's a fact.
I'm not gonna be a trash can. You ain't gonna dump that shit on me.
Dump that shit on me, and then leave it in there to stink and funk up my shit, for real.
Right. You feeling all good, and then you talk to the wrong person. Next thing you know, like, damn, I was just feeling good like that. They done transferred that shit to you.
Yep.
So
that's another reason why I don't put my business all out there all the time, because you never know, somebody's negative energy, or he ain't gonna get that shit, or he did that. He ain't putting that shit on me. Leave me alone. I'll tell you when it's done. I ain't telling you nothing till then.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if you was in the room. I think you was in the room yesterday when I talked about, me getting a house.
Nah, I wasn't there, but go ahead.
Yeah, I got the keys to the house yesterday. I'm not gonna get on Facebook and put a post up talking about look at God. I'm not gonna do that. Right. But I share with you know what I'm saying? I share with my people, like, hey man, I said it at the beginning of the year when I found out I was having a grandson. I told my daughter, I say, hey, I'm gonna get my grandson a backyard by the time he's 1. He's 8 months, so I beat my quota. And yes, and I went and met with the realtor yesterday, and she gave me the keys. She's like, "You free to move in whenever you want to." I'm not gonna put that. I mean, I'm putting it on the podcast, but it kind of segues to our point. You'll never see that online,
for sure. Now that's the one you were showing me. That was the one you were showing us a couple months ago. That nice Joan.
Yes.
Oh, bro, I'm happy for you.
Wait till I send you the pictures. So and this is the thing, Sam. I didn't get the house for me.
Yeah.
Per se. Because I'm single. I get my 2 sons every other weekend. My daughters live with me on and off. I have a 1-bedroom townhouse now. I would be satisfied with that.
Word.
But I got a grandson, and my kids have gotten bigger. People like you may have to come in. Let's just say you shooting a movie for 2 weeks, and they really ain't got the budget to put you in no shit. Come to the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I got it. I didn't get it for me. I got it so I could help other people. And like, Keith came to Houston last week, and he's like, man, I got to get a room. I said, no, you don't. Shit, I ain't got no extra bed at the house, but I got a couch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got it to be a blessing to my kids, be a blessing to whoever needs it. And I mean, it's nice. I'm gonna send you the pictures when we get off. You be like,
hell yeah, let me see that shit.
That motherfucker is what? It's a crib. It's a crib that D Bottz looks like he should live in.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? When you come to Houston, it's a crib. 4 bedrooms, office, game room. Yeah, that mother bad. It's bad.
I'm happy. If anybody deserve that, brother, is you, man, because you just give off so much positive energy and you help so many motherfuckers, man. You deserve that, bro. So I'm happy for you, man.
Yeah. So I go to myself, man, and I'm not the biggest spiritual person, but I'm a big principle spiritual person. So I don't sit up there and have deep prayers. My prayers be about 2-3 minutes.
Get in and get out.
So I believe my maker gives me, wherewithal and the wisdom and all that other stuff. I pray for to, you know, have great days, and because I can't afford to be off. I can't afford to not bring it. And it's pressure, but I love it. Like, I welcome it. I love the challenge of it. I don't, you know, I don't want to be regular. I don't want to be average. I don't want to be mediocre. I want to be great. And, you know, with greatness comes great responsibility. So, you know, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it's 30, 40 people relying on Botz's energy, because you never know what people coming on Clubhouse dealing with.
That's a fact.
And so I love it. Like, I love what we built. I love what we're building and where we going, man. Because, you know, when I first met you, you weren't acting.
Nope. Sure wasn't.
You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
And we're just building this conglomerate of talent and dopeness that's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. So I'm excited. But yeah, I'm a self-soother. I am. And if I do ever need people, you know, I got people like the Ali's. And I don't know if you met James, my best friend.
Yep.
I got them in my life if I need it. But I don't be needing it. Like, I don't be having bad shit. The worst shit I may have is I forget to pay a bill and that motherfucker gonna turn pink.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or the cookout budget is short $400 and I gotta come out my own pocket. But it ain't nothing to where I'm finna be, oh my God, can you help? You know, I can't do that. You know.
Word. And
I got control of my emotions. And
it helps. It helps because it's establishing a foundation that, you know, it can't be fucked with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we can't be fucked. This foundation is here. It's solid. Anybody in it, we good. I got you. Now I want to transition to the cookout now because, man, I heard about the cookout, which is crazy, 3 years ago now. And it's crazy how we've all became a fucking family, dog, from this event that goes on every quarter of the year in different locations where we were, you know what I mean, just all fellowshipping over the love of music and the love of making sure that we can network and do things the right way. And it's genuinely turned into a family. I want to talk about the beginning stages of the cookout because I've heard the story before, but I want for the audience to hear how you created this networking summit now called the Cookout, where you get independent collectives together to create music, create bonds, create networking, and an absolutely amazing experience. So how did that idea come to fruition, and how did you kind of establish it to get it going?
The idea came from, I went to a session right before COVID. I did a writing camp. And I was one of the featured producers, and it was like another producer and like 3 accomplished writers or whatever. And it was, I think that it had like 30 people at the camp. And so we at the camp, it's in Atlanta. And the first day, they introduced him. We doing our intros out there. Second day, we get to go to work in the studio. And so the people that came to the camp didn't know a lot of stuff. Like, they didn't know about pre-hooks. They didn't know about B melodies, just certain things a accomplished songwriter, or even an up-and-coming songwriter would know. And man, these writer dudes like wild out on them. Like, why? What you mean you don't know? Man, how the fuck you gonna be at that? And I'm literally sitting there like, I want to knock your ass. I don't want to mess my money up.
Right.
But the nigga in me like want to knock the shit out and hit you in your fucking mouth. Because first of all, these people paid.
Yeah.
To learn, and you talking to them crazy. So fast forward, I leave that event, and I'm thinking, first the pandemic hit. I'm thinking in my head when I leave, I'm like, man, I should create an event where people can come to the studio and feel safe and feel encouraged and feel welcomed and the camaraderie like it's supposed to be. COVID hits. So when COVID hits, every 6 months, me and my homeboy JoJo, we do our accountability, and we'll talk about what our goals are. And I had told him in the middle of COVID, we had went to the track. Never forget, we was out there running on the track, and we sitting in the stands. He's like, so what you gonna do with the rest of the year? What you looking at doing? And I told him about the event. I didn't call it the cookout. I was just like, I want to get some people together and yada, yada, yada. He's like, cool. So we get back to the top of 2021. Me and him, our birthdays are a week apart. So we always meet. His is on the 17th. His is on the 18th. Mine's on the 28th. So we always meet on the 22nd, which is smack in there. We go to eat. And so he's like, so what's your goals this year, bro? And I told him a whole bunch of stuff. And he's like, what about that event you was talking about you wanted to create? And I'm like, man, it's COVID, bro. Ain't nobody gonna cope. Ain't nobody gonna come to that. You know, people dying. And like, he checked me. Like, he did some slick shit. He stood out, looked back, and like looked me up and down like, where Bottz at? Like, what you mean? He say, Bottz don't never say he can't do shit. And at that moment, I'm sitting at Twin Peaks, sitting at Twin Peaks, and I'm like, damn, he right. I ain't never said I can't do nothing. So I get back to the studio. I call Brand, I call Sean, I call J. Kane, I call a couple people. I'm like, hey, I got this idea. I don't know what it's gonna do. I want to get everybody together at the studio and let's just create. We don't know what we're gonna do, what song. And they was out. This is when I say I hang around a bunch of dope ass people. Everybody was like, when, where, I'm there. That was literally everybody's when, where, I'm there. I say, well, let's do Atlanta. I had been going back and forth to Atlanta working with Brittany J anyway. So
okay.
I already had the studio in mind, and I told Jay about it. He's like, let's do it. So we did the first, it wasn't even called the cookout, it was called the jam session. It was 12 people. 12 people. We went to Icon Studios in Atlanta.
Damn.
And we cut like 4 or 5 records in them 2 days, and it was cool. It was dope. So, after that, the cookout was born. Because as soon as we got back from Atlanta, everybody who went hit me like, when the next one?
Yeah.
I was like, y'all want to do it again? They was like, yeah. I was like, well, where y'all want to go? They was like, we put a vote, and they was like, let's go to LA. We did Atlanta, let's go to LA. I'm like, cool, we do LA. So now we kind of got a vibe of what we want to do. So we put a flyer together and we promote it. We get to LA, bro, we had 113 people.
Damn.
12, 113 in 2 months.
No, we still called the jam session at this time?
Everybody named Mama pulled up. Huh?
Was it my bad to cut you off?
Still... now. We named it.
Okay, so now when I was the cookout, got you.
It's the cookout. Yeah, the flyer for LA said cookout. We officially called it that. And so Brian had came up with my little logo with my t-shirt in the box right there. So we promoting the event, man. We get to LA, bro. For first night, it's jam packed. I'm like, damn. I was blown away. So we leave LA. And the next question was, where we going next?
When the next one, yeah.
And I'm like, shit, we did Atlanta, we did LA. Let's go to the Big Apple. We went to New York, and we do New York. Fast forward, we do New York. We end up doing, after that, we go to Miami. After that, we do the DMV. So we did 5 the first year.
Okay.
The next year, this is when you kind of come in contact with us, and we started the year 2022, and it just took off, bro. It took off. We did Dallas, we did Atlanta again. I think that's when we went to Charlotte, the Hot Box.
Yep.
Charlotte. We did. What else did we do in 2022? We did DMV again. We did Miami again. We did Miami again at the end of the year. And so we did that, and then it's just been taking off. 2023, we came home and did it in Houston, and we had the most attended one at that time. We had like 125 people pull up.
That shit was fire.
Shit, you saw that. You was here in Houston.
That shit was fire.
Yeah, we did the basketball game. And I try to be creative with it to just, man, you never know what people are dealing with. I get so many testimonies in my DMs and in my text messages from people who come to the cookout like, yo, I needed that. Like, I knew if I got there, I would be able to, I was down. And, one person had just went through a divorce. And so he came to Detroit and he was really down. He's like, man, Bottz, you lifted my spirit. Just hanging around. That's what I'm talking about, the energy of the event. The energy it's so dope. Like, the energy of the event is super, super dope. And right now, we got plaques. We got new plaques on the way because I just ordered my platinum plaque for the Cookout album Volume 1. Volume 3 right now is trending toward 100K. And R&B is trending toward 100K. We putting these albums out. We got this mixtape dropping in 2 weeks. So we just, bro, we trying to just, change the game. We make independents understand, like, you ain't got to sign to a major. You could be major without a major deal, like Mike Jones used to say. So, it's just dope, bro. It is. I would have never imagined 4 years ago it'd be where it is.
I wanted to ask you that, but before I do, I want to talk about, because what goes on at these cookouts is real music gets done with real singers and real hip hop artists and real artists. I don't even want to put them in a genre, and real producers, all the way to the point where you got a platinum record from music you did at the cookout. Did you ever imagine? Now, I'm not probably a silly ass question because you probably damn sure did, but did you ever imagine that you would have a platinum record, the first platinum record of many from doing these events. Did you envision that when you first sat there at that track talking to your boy saying, I'm gonna start this event?
Never.
Wow.
Never. And that's why I was so emotional. Even when I did the video, I just, bro, I've gotten my plaques, you know, with Maya and Mike Jones and Natalie and all them people. But this was mine.
Yeah.
This is my blood, sweat, tears, and money. Because I paid for the first year of the cookout. I paid for everything. You know what I'm saying? Well, Catrice helped out a little bit at the end. Shout out to Catrice. But it was me, bro. And it just, like, Sean was crying. Like, because Sean was ready to give up. Misfit was ready to give up on music when I told him to come to Atlanta. That's it. He'll tell you the testimony. He wrote it a couple weeks ago when I put the post up. He put a whole post, and he's just like, man, I'm so grateful to my brother for getting me out of my funk and telling me to get your ass to Atlanta.
Yeah. And
he's on a platinum album. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I would have never, bro. It's still surreal. It's still like, this was a conversation at the track.
yeah. That turned into all of this.
We've had over 500 people come through the Cookout's doors.
Yeah.
And you know, now that we got albums, and you know, DJ Chops was telling me he got a whole album, a record label. He's like, Bottz, you put out more albums and songs with my artists than we do. I said, shit, they don't come to sit on. I'm not keeping them on my hard drive. We putting these hoes out. Yeah. So I would have never imagined it. Now I'm waiting on my confirmation from a chick. Now I'm getting my plaque. My birthday is January 28th. I say it's got to be here by my birthday. I don't care if I got to pay for shipping. That is my birthday present to myself. My plaque from the cookout.
That shit gonna be sweet too. And I've been to plenty of cookouts, and I sing and do my thing, but I've never really. I go in there and I kind of vibe, and that's the kind of person I am. I'm chilling. I do all this shit, but I'm an introvert at heart. I kind of sit back and just watch and observe shit. Right. Man, when I seen y'all got that platinum record, I'm saying, if I don't get the fuck in that goddamn booth and start singing, nigga, the fuck am I doing?
But you're on volume 2, ain't you?
Am I? I think so. I know I'm crooning on a couple of them songs.
Which one is Long Way?
We did that in. I know we did it in Houston.
You and Megan B. Is that the mixtape? I think that's the mixtape though. Is that the mixtape?
Well, shit, let that bitch go platinum if it want to. I'm gonna go ahead and get my goddamn plaque from me. I don't give a fuck. Hey, yes, sure did.
It can go. That's the cookout going gold. I ordered the gold ones too.
Yeah, I'm gonna take them too. All of them. You damn right.
You damn right. All my plaques. Look, that one gonna be special though. So it's kind of dream-like, man. What we've built, and you have people who look forward to the event. And when's the next one? And we need the calendar. People planning. They're literally planning their vacations and PTO and FMNLA, whatever that shit is called, just to come to the event, bro. And it's you know, a friend told me a while ago, like, Bottz, these people come to see you. Your name is on everything. Your face is this. They come to see you. They may enjoy everything else, but they're here because of you. And it's like, wow.
They are, like, bro. And wow. I need you to realize that too, because, and I don't know if you do, but like, it's deeper than the music. Like you've helped in creating a family type atmosphere at these cookouts. Like how you even set them up, how you have the mixer in the beginning, how we just chilling and chopping it up over drinks and enjoying some entertainment. Then we have food, and you can always fellowship over food, and you do that better than any fucking body. You fellowship over food. You know what I'm saying? And the studio, and there's so many things you could do to create these bonds for people, and how like somebody can come to me from the cookout. Hey, yo, Sam, can I get on the podcast? Done. Yo, Sam, can I get this done? And I know it's vice versa. Like we have such a collective group of people who genuinely give a fuck about each other, man. Did you ever think that was going to happen?
No. I mean, point blank, no.
Yeah.
I know the traits of a great leader, not good, a great leader is to put some of their DNA in the people that follow them. And I don't mean that in a nasty way. Right, I mean that like people like Gray Keys has cloned what we do, cookout culture. You have a bunch of people who understand, like the one we just had last month in Houston, we had a whole bunch of new people, but you had the veterans helping them. Hey, this is how you do this. This is how you do it. It ain't no egos. It ain't no big eyes and little you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a team. It's a family.
Work.
And I tell them, once you come to the cookout once, you adopted.
Yep.
You in.
Family. Yep.
And so I never would have thought. I remember, man, this preacher told me a long time ago, and it's coming to pass. He said, man, the big breaks and the big things you're going to do ain't going to even happen from your production. He was like, just whatever, I don't know what it is, but, you know, it's not going to happen like you think it's going to happen. And shit, this is happening. Like, I would have never thought, you know, we'd be, but I know the influence I have on people. I know my vision for people, and once you impart that in people and they carry it out, it's just one of the dopest things to see many needs. You know what I mean? And doing it. They're doing it. You know, I'm teaching people this game. I'm teaching people life because, like you say, it's beyond music.
Yeah,
it's beyond music. You know, I rode in the car last week for 8 hours to Dallas, back and forth with Gray Keys and Keith, and I think we talked about music maybe an hour. We talked about being husbands. I ain't no husband. We talked about being, you know, fathers, and we talked about life. And you know, we, like you say, we created a family, man. It ain't just what beats you got, what songs we doing. It's like, you good? What you working on? How can I support you? You know what I mean? The lingo. Yeah. The lingo. I've taught people, man, you sow these seeds of support. That's how people always gonna support you, support them. And they get it. They're getting it. And they're steadily getting it because it's growing every event. So
it definitely is. Just to give you a little transparency about me, man, because like I got big visions and big goals, and I know I'm talented, and God has instilled things in me that I know he didn't give to many people, and I don't take that for granted. Like, so I go as hard as I fucking can for those dreams and those goals. I'm also a father. I'm also a husband. I'm a provider. And mentally, sometimes that shit can, for me personally, can get tough for me because I have such big goals and big dreams, but I also know that I got to take care of mine too. And sometimes when I don't get to the success that I want to get, it fucking bogs me down. I'm a sore ass loser. I hate to fucking lose. I hate it. So when I see one of those,
me too.
I hate it. So when I see it, I kind of take it as a loss. When it's not a loss, it's a learning lesson. But when I come and I'm around you and I'm around Ali, even on like, all right, prime example, Wednesdays, when the cookout room in Clubhouse, you got Wellness Wednesdays. And I'll sit back and I'm quiet and I listen, bro, because sometimes I need that shit. Because sometimes mentally I need to pick me up. And then at the end you go, okay, was anybody ready to talk? And that's when I get the fuck off, because I ain't talk. I don't want to talk. I ain't sharing shit. Okay, I got what I needed. Word, I said what I need. I needed that for you. I'm gonna keep going. But I just want you to know, bro, like even in my position, sometimes when I need it, whether you know it or not, you there. And I appreciate you, bro, for sure. I appreciate that, man.
Because it's more than music. Man. It's more than music. It's more than music. That's the introduction, the common denominator. But the tale of a true family member or friend is, what can you build? That's our foundation. We all like music. That's how we met, on music. Now what are we gonna build from that? And we've been building, bro. We building freaking skyscrapers, because
man,
it's the sky ain't even the limit. That's the beginning. We got some dope stuff. So, man, I appreciate you, brother. I be laughing at you on your tweets. You know, I don't always reshare them and stuff, but I be laughing because I'm like, I don't even get on Twitter a lot. I literally get on Twitter to look at you and Jay Kane because y'all be cracking me up. And so, you know, I watch, man. I'm a watcher. I'm a studier of people. Yeah. And, you know, I keep good people around me. I know you good, man. I know, you know, you stood the test. People can't hang around me if you got a fucked up spirit.
Word.
As we see some people that fell off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, because I keep my heart pure for people, and I keep my spirit pure, and I do that on purpose. I don't want to see, you know, bad things happen. I don't wake up in the morning thinking how I could scam somebody. You know what I'm saying? And so when you had a mindset of helping people, shit always gonna happen for you. You know what I mean? There's been cookouts where I couldn't meet the budget, and automatically 2 or 3 sponsors just been like, hey, I can't come this time, but I want to shoot you, whoop to whoop whoop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, you used to pay, and then when I'm like, nah, you ain't got to pay no, you fam, bro. You shit, pull up.
That's a blessing.
Paying is for people who have to kind of go through the process. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and so it's crazy how life is, man. Because 4 years ago, I wouldn't imagine my life being like this. You know what I mean? I was married. Just had a son. Well, son was 2 years old, you know, and I thought my life was going one way, and you know, destiny would have it go a whole different way. And so I love it though, but I love it. You know, I was walking my house yesterday, and it sounds good to say that.
Yeah,
and I was just in a state of gratefulness, because that's what it is, man. I'm grateful every day I wake up. I'm grateful, whether I got 1,000 in my hand, 1,000 in the bank, 10,000, whatever. I'm just grateful for life, and you know, that's where I'm at with life. I just love being alive.
Yeah.
Shit, COVID taught us life ain't given.
Yeah. At all.
Fucking disease came and took, you know, two of my closest friends and one of my family members. A disease. Like
wiped
that.
them out.
People I thought would be in my life forever.
That's a
and
fact.
So I live life like that. I'm grateful every day. I'm grateful for the people in my life. And man, we're gonna get to this bag. Let's get to this bag. Let's enjoy life. Let's enjoy making music, enjoy making movies. And shit, we just tapping in now. We just getting started.
Just getting started, making TV shows and shit. Y'all got everything going. The H. Lee, That's Me show and movies and shit. It's crazy.
We got a freaking comedy album.
A comedy album.
You know what I'm saying? We and people like, man, you just do everything. I sure goddamn do. God, look, next year we got an Afrobeat album. We got the country album. We got all that shit we doing. We doing it. Who can tell us we can't? Nobody.
That's the way to go. We're going to end right there, man. I got D Bottz on the SamAnt Viral podcast. I hope y'all enjoyed some of these jewels that was dropped on y'all melon these last hour, because there's some goddamn jewels up in there. And if you hadn't heard them, I'm going to make sure you do, because I'm going to clip these bitches up and I'm going to put them all over social media so that you can hear them. So I appreciate you, Bottz, man. You are my brother. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep being great out here. You got the last words, man. End us out. How you want to end it, bro? You go ahead, do your thing. Let the people know where they can find you. Let the people know where they can follow. Let the people know how they can get to the cookout. If they're interested in getting into the cookout and fellowshipping with the squad. Floor is yours, brother. I appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate you always, my brother. Love you.
Yes, sir,
you can reach me. You can reach me by trail. Now, I'm on Instagram at D Bottz. You beaten. DBOTTZ. YOUBEATIN. Now, that has a two-part meaning. If I'm posting beats and music, that means I'm beaten. If I'm posting food, that means D Bottz be eating. You be eating. It's two parts. So you can find me on there. You can follow the cookout. The cookout page is up. _3 cookout. The cookout. Sorry. _3 the cookout. Or you can go to @thecookout.com. We got Nashville coming up in February 5th through the 7th. We got Nashville. Then we got New Orleans. Then we got Chicago. Then we got Dallas. That's what we'll be next year. Yeah, next year is gonna be crazy.
I'm lining up my coins now, nigga, because I got to get the all in. And my wife knows I'm lining up the coin. Like, babe, look, I know I ain't hit Houston.
Look, you
gotta go to Nashville.
Get there, bro. You know you got to get there. You can shoot. You can be at the Airbnb on the couch or something like shit. We don't care. Just get there.
Word.
So that's where you can find me, and you can find me, you know, with the plaques. And I'll be at the Grammys in LA because I am Grammy nominated twice right now for 2 albums. Queen Sheba and Sean Ardoin. If you're a vote member and you watching this, go vote.
Grammy nominated, multi-platinum, author, father, grandfather, and a dope ass brother, man. D Bottz on the podcast, bro. I appreciate you, man. Salute.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Oh.